I'm back. I want to talk to you about this book by Napoleon Hill, and I know a lot of you don't really care for my perceptions of these self-help books, as I can see in the views and the numbers and the engagement. But I love a self-help book. I think they are really great when you're trying to do something professionally. When I'm trying to level up professionally, I always kind of lend myself to books and more reading. Even if I know something, I still think it's important to read about it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, all those books are the same. Here's my perception. Yes. Most of the book is the same. I would say 98% of the book is the same. But if I leave with 2% more than I had, I think that's worth it, because when you're going from good to great, 2% can take you to the next level. People, if you ever watch track, you'll see that people become the world's fastest, you know, athlete by zero point 0.2 seconds. 0.02 seconds. So with that said, I don't think one, hearing the same repetition is the art of learning. Every time you hear something, it resonates a little bit differently, and you can grow a little bit differently from that application. But also, finding the 2% and pushing to that next level is so important. So I will continue to read my self-help books, and because I find this as a really great place to and process the information, take it in, think about it, enjoy it, and share it with someone who may be interested in leveling up their life, I'll continue to talk about them here. Okay. Okay. So this is Book Talk. I'm Brianka J. Here goes Tim with another one. Okay, and we're going to talk about Outwitting the Devil. This is by Napoleon Hill. He did an amazing job with this work. So if you know Napoleon Hill, you probably know him from his work of like Rich Dad Poor Dad or other like really enlightening books by about success, about failure, about what makes a person great, right? So this book is called Outwitting the Devil, and he had this book written for very many years and was afraid to publish it because he was afraid of how people would interact with it or accept it as part of like a reading, because in the book he has a conversation with the devil, and he has him confess how he interacts with people. So it is riveting, and he talks about how, okay, I'm just going to talk about a couple key points that I've already learned that's sitting with me, that's on my mind. He tells us about how, one, the devil loves for us to be focused on things like poverty. If you're broken, you're poor, it's less likely for you to have this like self-confidence, for you to have faith, for you to key in to this other greater self that moves on faith, that understands that your reality is very much made in your mind and your thoughts, and that if you can believe it and take action towards it, then you can have it. Faith without works, what is it? Faith without works is no. You'll tell me. Put it in the comments. Faith without work, you know what I'm saying. But so he's telling us like people love to think about the devil as this thing that happens when we die. You think about, oh, the devil's gonna, either I'm gonna meet the devil in hell. And it's like, no, the devil is operating right here on earth every single day when we don't take risks and believe in ourselves, when we don't reach our greatest potential, when we, instead of going to the gym, we decide to be lazy, when we offset our goals, when we let negative perspectives take control of our life, we let the devil win. He said, the devil says he gloats in the opportunity of us just not taking action. Most of us will never reach our potentials, and 98% of people never even try because of things like teachers and parents and religious leaders who have already lost faith and continue to take the quote unquote safe route. And because of that, his work is made very, very, very easy. He says, we just fail to take action a lot of times. And then when we do take action and we do reach a level of success, it's very easy for him to let us get drunk off that success. We eat to gluttony. We spend to show off, to find greed kind of takes over us. We forget how to be a service of others, and that's one of the key aspects. He says that in order to overcome some of these things is that to be a service to others will really allow you to allow your other self shine, and for you to have that faith that you need and that confidence that you need to take to that next step and outwit the devil's actions, outwit the voice in your mind that tells you to play it safe or don't take that chance or you'll never lose that weight or your hair will never grow to that length or you'll never get that job. And it's so interesting. I remember I was going through some pictures actually, like maybe earlier this week, and I ran across my first brand gig where I worked with Coke, and I remember I really wanted to get into marketing. I was like, how can I break into marketing as a profession? And I remember feeling like, oh, they don't hire people like me, like they don't want, they don't see me as good enough. And I had all these ideas, and people had all these ideas of why I would never really make it. I remember, and I let that, focus me for a long time. And now I have a thriving career in marketing. I remember telling myself, oh, I could never be like an influencer. No one will ever give me brand deals. I've had plenty of brand deals. Um, Things aren't as difficult as we like to think in our brains, and they're not as hard. And unattainable as we like to think they are. But when we listen to these voices and we allow this level of doubt to get into our brains, whether it comes from our own insecurities or the insecurities that's projected on us by the world, it becomes easy to lose sense of yourself and lose sense of that vibration of you can do anything. And I think that's why this book and any self-help book can really be important in changing your perspective of how you see things and how you do things. Um, and then not getting drunk on your success in the process of that, because Napoleon Hill's book is really talks about, like, even when people do reach a certain level of success, they become so drunk on their success that they forget the fundamental values of like serving others and giving back and the core things that you have, and then why you've been given the success that kind of leads you astray. And he talks about how you can, reach this level of understanding, like allowing, he said you have two voices, like it's your regular self that has all this doubt and who has taken in all these ideas about who you can be and who you are, but then there's this other self who operates on faith alone. And very seldom we allow our faith to be our operating force. And so he said, but when that part of ourself is in operation and is in control, we tend to have a better opportunity to be successful and to grow and to be enlightened and to reach these goals that we set. And he said, like in the book Outwitting the Devil, he says that the primary action is to keep you from reaching this level of faith in yourself, to keep you from having this level of confidence, to keep you in a state of I can only do so much and I'm only limited by these things and I don't have, and focusing on this idea of scarcity and lack, and not realizing that everything you have is more than enough to achieve, and everything you don't need more than you have to take the next step. Just start taking the steps and then trust the process and know that if you set your mind to a goal, like you can achieve it. And the primary goal of the devil is to kind of keep you from ever understanding that about yourself, from ever taking that in, from putting up these little obstacles that slow you down and hold you back and make you doubt your ability. And I struggled with that a lot this year because I felt like I was just dealing with so much criticism and just these minute mistakes I made. Like I think troves of trolls, that's going, troves of trolls like harassed me on the internet this year, and I don't think most people will never understand it, but like when you're overly criticized, whether it's like by internet, trolls or by like people in your life or friends, family, though a person can maintain a very strong aura and a very strong outward appearance. I think that what does is slowly chip away at you a little bit. It slowly dims you a little bit. And I know on the other side of that, it's so easy for you to join on to a bandwagon and start like, yeah, let's attack her, let's get her, or I'm just making a joke because I think it's funny. I just want to get my 3 minutes or 2 minutes of fame from this, but you don't think about the impact it has on the person on the other side and how it may be attacking them. And I think even from where I sit, it took me a minute to say like this took a toll on me. This really bothered me. And I even said earlier today, I was like, my goal, what I was meant to learn for 2024 into 2025 is to how to let people just talk. Great people are going to be criticized, like whether it's for something stupid like a light bulb, or how thin you are, or how thick you are, or when you said that stupid thing, or how you wear your hair. People will criticize you. And those observations, though they may hurt and though their opinion shouldn't matter, it does affect you. But I hope that, I'm telling myself, but I'm also telling you, I hope that it doesn't stop you. Continue to grow, continue to flourish. Don't let that's the devil. That's the work of the devil. And sometimes when you're great, he's gonna go into great lengths to get to attack you. And sometimes he's gonna go to small lengths. It really depends on how loud your voice of faith is and how much you believe yourself is how strongly he attacks you. But I think in reading this book by Napoleon Hill, it really set me up for success for 2025. I feel very confident. Like I'm gonna be okay. Like I'm gonna be able to do this. And even thinking like, I know that this is just a test. I know this is just an attack. I know that I can overcome all things, um, because I have faith in myself. Like, even if you're not a Christian person and you don't like, oh, I don't believe in the devil, I don't believe in Christ, read the book because it's bigger than that. He really talks about having faith in you and having confidence in you and not being distracted and not letting things get to you to push a little harder when you do face obstacles, because there's something over the hill there. So I still say read the book. It's so good. I'm linking the free PDF at the bottom of this. I'm not going to keep going into this. I don't even know how long this video is now, but read the book. And I'll be back. This is Bianca J with Book Talk. I want to thank you guys for watching my channel and coming to this video. Be sure to become a member and continue to subscribe, like, comment. Thank you guys for who support me, and thank you guys who don't support me. It literally does not matter. Thank you so much.